The government is giving Malaysia an extra 4 years to achieve its high-income nation ambitions as it sets off in a new economic direction. PM Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad tabled the mid-term review of the 11th Malaysia Plan today. According to the review, gross national income per capita is expected to reach 47,720 ringgit in 2020, 21% below the estimated minimum income threshold of a high-income nation. Therefore, Malaysia may only achieve its dream by 2024. However, the review also noted that the goal to become a developed and inclusive nation goes beyond attaining a high-income level. It says higher purchasing power is also necessary and that Malaysia needs to progress in many other dimensions, including politics, culture and social. Among the reforms Putrajaya will introduce are a new crime index measurement and a 2-term limit on the PM's tenure. It will also impose higher indirect taxes and cut development expenditure by 15% to 220 billion ringgit. Mahathir believes if all planned measures are executed, Malaysia will roar again as an Asian tiger. Malaysia is now expected to see a budget deficit of 3% to GDP by the end of the 11MP. GDP growth is seen at 4.5% to 5.5% a year from now till 2020. Former Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi will be hauled to the KL Sessions Court tomorrow morning to face a number of charges related to abuse of power, criminal breach of trust and money laundering. Zahid was arrested by MACC officers this afternoon after he presented himself for questioning at its headquarters in Putrajaya. According to the MACC, the charges against Zahid are linked to funds allegedly misappropriated from Yayasan Akal Budi, a family-run foundation set up to help eradicate poverty and provide Islamic education. The charges will be under the MACC Act and the Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Terrorism Financing Act. According to news reports, Zahid is said to have taken some 800,000 ringgit from the foundation to settle his and his wife's credit card bills between 2014 and 2015. Zahid, however, claimed that he had asked his officer to pay the credit card bills using his personal cheque, but the officer mistakenly used funds from Yayasan Akal Budi to settle the debt. He also said he was the biggest contributor to the foundation. Putrajaya has to bear 1.69 billion ringgit in interest payments for beleaguered OneMDB's debts this year alone. According to MOF, it has honoured a 208.8 million ringgit payment today due for bonds issued by OneMDB Energy Langat. Come November, it will need to fork out another 217.5 million ringgit for OneMDB energy bonds and Sukuk Islamic medium-term notes of 143.75 million. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng says the government does not intend to default on any debt obligations entered into by OneMDB. This is to defend the international credit rating of the country, which he says is now known as a champion of kleptocracy. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng has denied that last week's sell-down on the Malaysian equity market was thanks to news of the termination of MMC Gamuda's MRT2 underground work contract. Lim says the effect couldn't have been so huge. He points to external factors, including the protracted trade war between US and China, and says the government could meet major rating agencies after Budget 2019 to promote the local equity market. According to MIDF researchers Adam M. Rahim, foreign funds withdrew 1.05 billion ringgit from local equity at Bursa last week. This was the largest weekly foreign net outflow in 16 weeks. However, Malaysia still saw the second lowest level of foreign attrition among the ASEAN markets ADA monitors. Maxis saw its net profit for the third quarter ended September 30th, 2018, shrink by 9% on higher operation and maintenance costs. Its latest quarterly earnings stood at 513 million ringgit, down from 564 million in the same quarter a year ago. The telco's revenue contracted to 2.26 billion ringgit, 3% lower than the 2.3 billion recorded in the previous corresponding period. Maxis declared a third interim dividend of 5 cents per share. As for the cumulative 9 months ended September 30th, Maxis says net profit tumbled by 8% to 1.5 billion ringgit from 1.64 billion a year ago. Top line skidded by 4% year-on-year to 6.75 billion ringgit from 7.04 billion previously. CEO Robert Nason says Maxis had a solid core performance. However, the telco is expecting strong headwinds to emerge with the tapering of its wholesale revenue, the impact of SST, investment in its new fibre offerings, and the continued price war.